Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mike Kollin at MikeKollin.com. So, I've been sitting on a series of teachings that I've learned and developed in practice for over 30 years. I didn't learn them all 30 years ago, but as I progressed over the next 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, I began to learn more and more of these teachings from the Sikh temple, Buddhist monks, to some of it really just came from meditating for years and years and years every single day. Okay, so when I say meditating, I don't mean like, I'll get these clients to say, oh yeah, I meditate every day. I'm like, every day? I'm like, wow, that's impressive. And I go, how long? I go, about 5 minutes. Yeah, that's not meditation. I'm talking about a minimum of an hour every day. And I did that for over 12 years. Now, that was the beginning first 3 to 6 months, and then it went to 2 hours and 3, etc. on weekends a lot longer. The music will go down in about 2 or 3 minutes. So this video is going to be about why and how all the teachings from the Bible, especially from Jesus Christ, to a lot of these people that are going into the consciousness realm, spiritual realm, all these teachings are being taught in the complete backwards opposite way of what they actually are and need to be taught in a different way. So what's happening is these expansive, open teachings are being taught in the closed, egotistical, logical, linear way, and therefore you're just being put right back into your two-dimensional logical brain. And the worst part about it is you're being taught like, oh, so this is what it is, and then you're being taught it in the wrong way, and you learn it in the wrong way thinking, well, this is the right way, when it's not. When you see the other side, when you feel and experience the other side, it becomes obvious. 1 + 1 = 2, not 7. Now, there is a teaching that was taught in one of our 5-week NLP trainings. And oh, by the way, the teachings that I teach on internal awareness, they do not come from NLP or Ericksonian hypnosis. They come from energy healing, working with Buddhist monks. These are spiritual, technically you could say 4th and or 5th dimensional teachings. Okay, so the teaching during this NLP training was very simple, and most of the students didn't, I would say probably all, if not, I would say the majority of them, and I mean like 90+%, maybe 99%. There's a very basic teaching, yet it was the key to connecting all the teachings. If you missed this key, which most they overlooked it and went right past it, then you're going to struggle doing any of these NLP techniques and understandings on how do you help people to shift. Here's what it was. So one of the things we are taught is, let's say someone's like, maybe not depressed, but kind of slow, just not motivated, or they might be depressed or sad, but let's say they're saying, I want to be happier, I want to be more joyful, I want to be more confident, or I want to be more motivated, right? So the essential teaching is this: in order to take someone where they want to be, you, as the practitioner, have to go there first. So you got a client that comes in, they're not motivated, they're kind of depressed or down on life, and like, I just don't feel excited about life, I'm not motivated, I just don't feel good about myself, I don't feel confident. Like, okay, so you want to feel good about yourself, you want more motivation, excitement, you want to feel confident. And they're like, yeah, I really do. Well, here's the deal. Just by verbally telling them to go there, okay, what I want you to do is be motivated now. And feel excited and feel motivated, and you can do it. You will never get anyone to access higher states or just different states of emotion by not being there. It's just, yeah. Our body is an animal body. We are exactly like animals, like horses, like dogs, like cats. We feel and sense through our physical flesh. You want to calm a horse down? Calm yourself down. Calm your actual energy, your heart, your emotion, the energy that flows within your body. Learn how to connect to yourself and learn how to ground yourself. I promise you, you can walk out to a field of horses and they'll just look at you and they will instantly, within a second or two, calm down. If you feel nervous, they're going to feel nervous. It's the same thing with children. If you're scared, your child's going to feel that. It's going to take on that energy. We have a rapport building program or machine inside of our nervous system, inside of our brain that gains energy and rapport. Like, okay, they're happy, they're sad, they're up, they're down. It's because this is how societies get along. This is how wolf packs and horses and everything gets along. And if you don't, you're going to get in a fight, or people are going to push you out, or people are going to ignore you. It's almost a survival skill. I don't even want to say that. It's a part of our nature is what I'm saying. So here's what happens. Okay, I just saw a video where a guy was talking about this spiritual stuff. And he goes on to say something to the effect of, if you feel sensitive to other people's energy, he goes, you essentially brought your energy from your lower three chakras, which would be your sacral, your solar plexus, and your heart, and you brought it up into your head, into your third eye. Now, I did something there on purpose to give you an example of what he was doing with his tonality, his verbiage, and then he did it with his body language and his hands. He goes up like that, and that will bring you up into your forehead. In the very beginning, I'm with the guy. I'm like, right on. I love this teaching. This is really... And then I'm like, wait, what is he doing? Oh, he's one of those people that logically learned stuff and didn't physically understand how to do it. So he's just logically feeding back the physical teaching in a logical way, so people learn it logically, like it's a logical step 1, step 2, step 3, because that's the logical left brain. And you can see in his eyes and his forehead, his energy's just beaming in a very linear, narrow kind of way. And I'm like, yeah, he's talking about an open, expansive thing in a very closed, linear way. So I'm purposely playing with the energy going up and then coming back down, okay? Because what I'm doing is I'm connecting with your energy slowly and I'm bringing you back down while I do my videos. So here this guy is talking about awareness when he doesn't have any awareness himself. He's not even self-aware of what he's doing to his own energy, which is then connecting to the people out in the crowd. So he's talking about how your energy should be down inside your body, your chakra. And he doesn't say your chakra should be open, but I'm assuming eventually he would say that. And he's bringing everyone up into the third eye, and not only third eye, but a closed third eye. And I'm just like, yeah, and that's what they're learning. See, what you tell people verbally. Okay, if I'm up here talking about you should be emotionally grounded and this and that, and then what will happen is you're going to think that this is emotionally grounded, and you're up here and all your chakras are closed, your forehead, your third eye, your ajna is closed, and you're like, oh, okay, so this is what it means to have my chakras open and be emotionally grounded and down inside my body. Oh, okay. But it's not. So when you physically learn how to do these techniques, and I'll give you 2 at the very end of this video to kind of give you an idea, but there's a series of techniques that I'll walk you through in one-on-one coaching, or if you guys want to do a workshop here, let me know now. And what I'm going to probably do is take like either full payment in advance or some kind of down payment, so then I can go pay for this space and rent it and then get people to come in. So you have to become, or an NLP term, which I think it's an overly logical term, and this is why when I first heard it, I'm like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? It's like you have to model the very thing that you want them to become, that they said, hey, I want to be more down to earth, I want to be more motivated. You have to step into that energy. So one of the things about being a really successful NLP trainer is you have to be able to shift from energy to energy, or emotion to emotion to emotion, to guide and lead people to where they want to go. And you have to be able to also, here's the first step, you have to gain rapport with them, meaning you have to connect with their energy on some level and then go into the energy that they want to go in. Okay, now this is a series of techniques and a skill set that you have to see. here again, a lot of students, and I know because I kept in touch with a lot of them for probably 15 years after the trainings, and they would never gain rapport with people. They would never lead people. They would never, I'm just kind of looking at them like, did you guys like miss the whole, I mean, you were there, you read the books, like how are you not, it is a skill set that you have to practice, and tune in. In fact, one of the key things that I focused on early on, that I dedicated myself every day for probably 12, 15, 20 years, is just grounding myself. Because when you can ground yourself, you can understand things from that perspective. Now, here's where all the teachings go awry. From spiritual to energy healing to the teachings of Christ, let's say. One of the things I've taught you guys over the last, probably a year or longer, maybe 2 years, is the church was led by men. And the male brain was very logical, very external. It's very linear. The problem is the teachings of Christ are a non-linear, circular, expansive form of teachings. They're spacious and expansive teachings. These are the internal ways, meaning it's the right brain. The right brain speaks the internal language, and it processes internally, whereas the left brain, the linear brain, processes not only externally, meaning going out of your body, but it goes in a line. These are two different processors that give two completely different meanings to the same words. So Jesus is saying A out of his right brain, and they take all those words and they pull them over unconsciously. They don't even know that they're doing it, and they process it through the left brain, which changes the meaning to all the words that they just received. It's a different processor. So it changes the meaning of everything they just heard into the opposite B. Ladies, does this sound kind of familiar? Have you ever had a conversation with your husband or long-term boyfriend where you're saying A and you mean A, but he hears the opposite B, and no matter what you say to him, he will argue to death, no, you're saying this, and you're like, no, I'm saying this, I'm saying A, and he's like, no, you're not, you're saying this, and this means that, and you guys go back and forth, and no matter what you say, he will refuse to understand that you're actually saying something else. Most women will say, that's the story of my life. So another experience I had which really caught me off guard, it opened me up to seeing through the naivety of just assuming, oh, this is the spiritual practice. So I live in an area now, when I moved here, I'm thinking, oh yeah, they've got energy healing people there, they've got lots of yoga studios. And I went and joined a yoga class, and I was there for I don't know how many months, and I eventually moved on to another one, and here's why. All these people were doing yoga, which is supposed to bring your awareness inside your body. And they were all logical, linear, and thinkers, and yes, and they'd get up, and their energy was up in their forehead, their pupils were narrow, and I'm going, what's going on here? And it kind of took me a while, and I finally figured it out, is they're doing a logical experience. They're not, and one thing I did, I started paying attention to the yoga instructors, and they were extremely linear, extremely logical, and I mean even the women, and I was like, this isn't supposed to be ego-based, this is supposed to be internal, relaxing, tuning in, awareness, expansion. So then I went to another place for a while, and it was the exact same experience, and then I just said, yeah, I'm just going to go home and I'm going to stretch on my own. See, whenever you stretch your muscle, it hurts or it feels tight. And what it does, it brings your awareness inside. So whenever I just stretch at home and then I add deep breathing to it, if I do it for more than 20 minutes, I feel really relaxed. My pupils dilate, I open up, I'm calm, and I feel good. When I started going to acupuncture with Dr. Chen in San Francisco, on Noriega Street, by the way. I don't know if he's still alive, though. That was a while ago, and he was a pretty old man back then. But I remember after the first session, I felt so mellow, and I started to talk to my girlfriend, and he goes, no. He goes, don't talk. And he tells her, he goes, take him to the beach and let him just sit there for about an hour or two. Don't talk. In fact, don't even sit next to him. Let him feel this energy. Let him fall asleep. Because what it does is it allows you to condition this open, spacious awareness inside you for longer and longer periods of time. So since the beach was literally right down the road about a quarter mile or half mile, we would just drive down there and I'd get out and I would just lay out and just chill, fall asleep. And I noticed most people in yoga class would just start talking about the experience instead of feeling the experience. Do you see the difference? Instead of staying open to your emotional system, your physical system. Now, even talking is fine when you're open, when you're coming from this open, grounded space. So instead of it being linear, logical, narrow, and up in your what I call your nasal capacities, where your forehead and nose is closed, you're actually speaking in a more open, resonant way from your heart. Literally, physically from your heart. And there's the technique that I will teach you on how to literally access that. So here Jesus is teaching right brain, right brain, right brain. I mean, I can prove it. Every time he says look within and all these internal words, these are right brain words. I can point them out. I can teach them to you. The other thing is right brain teachings are taught in the right brain way, which is through metaphors, stories, and examples, which, that's what Jesus does. And this is why, in a sense, the teachings got lost, because these left brain people were processing it through the wrong brain, which changed the meaning to everything he said. Not only that, but the left brain structures everything, because the left brain processes through structure, organization, and rules. Rules, structure, and organization. So what left brain people hear when they listen to Jesus is, there's a bunch of rules. No, he's literally saying it's not about rules, it's about love. Love is the fulfillment of all the commandments, meaning rules. So if you look at this, the left brain is about logic, analytic, it's about reason, strategic, it's about science, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is a line, rules, and it's about control. Control. Who do you think is going to be the controlling people? So here's the thing, you can put the same book, the same chapter, the same verses or sentences or paragraphs in front of someone. If someone's left brain, they're going to literally process it through analytical control, science, rules, structure, and organization. And that's what they're going to read. That's what they're going to hear. That's what they're going to see. And this is why Jesus was so frustrated with the Pharisees, because they were very logical left-brain people. The Pharisees and the Sadducees and the teachers, the spiritual or religious leaders, I should say. Now here's the deal, though. They really believed it was about rules. It was about right or wrong, which is the left-brain either-or mentality. Either or, right or wrong. It's good or bad. You're either on my side or you're an enemy. No, that's not true. So all they heard was rules, and they really believed that the rules must be enforced. There must be control. Where Jesus came along and says, no, it's about love. It's about understanding. It's about compassion. It's about getting along. Now, the right brain is the emotional, creative, spiritual brain. The right brain is also the social and relationship brain. So which brain do you think you should be in if you want to process in a way that allows you to get along with other people in social or relationship situations? Yes, the right brain. This is why Jesus was emphasizing this. The right brain was meant for people to get along on a social relationship level. The problem is, dating all the way back thousands of years, our governments have been trying to control us by using rules, structure, and organization and saying right or wrong, good or bad. Well, it's kind of weird, because when I was a kid, if you smoked pot and you got caught, you get arrested and you go to jail. Now it's legalized and everyone can do it. It's like, but you're thinking, well, it's a right brain thing. No, it's still being done under rules. It's still being done under control. So everything on the planet is being done by right or wrong. Based on what? Based on whoever that person is. Well, this is what I believe the rules should be. I'm right and you're wrong, and since you're not like me, I'm throwing you in jail. I'm going to punish you because my culture is different than yours and my rules are different, my values are different, my beliefs are different, I'm right and you're wrong. This is why people aren't getting along, because they've been conditioned to be stuck in their left brain. If we can get people to open up, all of a sudden when you look at another artist who's using different colors to make a painting, you're not going to fine him, punish him, and throw him in jail because he uses a different type of color scheme. Instead you're going to get curious and go, wow, what now? How do you do that? And you become fascinated with the way other people do other things. You learn a lot faster. You absorb information. You're just a receiving vessel. The either or way is what is completely slowed down society. It's completely slowed down our learning and our growth and our ability just to understand and get along. So the internal awareness course that I teach shows you how to open up to your right brain and at the same time be emotionally grounded. So instead of talking about it and being up in my third eye, closed third eye, I'll teach it from being grounded. Now here's what all of my teachings come down to. This one symbol, internal and external energy. That's it. And for the either or people, no, that does not mean you can be either internal or external, because a lot of men get really, you mean I have to let go of my logic? No. Logic has its place. It was never meant to control, though. Math, business, science, they all have their place with a greater awareness that adds to it. Okay, let me read something I wrote down. So we're going to talk about the different levels. So the first level is like a straight flat line on a piece of paper. So you take a pen and you just draw a line. That's it. 2 dimensions is a straight line and a left or a right turn. Okay, or you could have both, like a T. That's 2 dimensions. So it's straight and then across. Like, say, you can even say an X. Now the third dimension is you got a straight line, a line that goes left to right, and then you got a line that goes up. So that's the third dimension. That is the physical world that we live in now. We are third dimensional beings. Our earth, the trees that go up, okay, like a pop-up, that is third dimension. Now here's the deal. People that are using the logical brain is the 2-dimensional brain. 1 + 1 = 2, 10 to the 10th power to the square root of 7, or whatever. That's all 2-dimensional processing. As I've said in past videos, science, in fact math, has actually proven that we know mathematically that there's at least 11 dimensions, and yet some people are like, oh, I don't believe it. I don't believe in the 4th and 5th dimension. I think that's who we feel. Like, well, then you probably didn't go to college, did you? So physics talks about it. Math talks about it. So one way of talking about the dimensions is you have the first and second dimension, which I've explained, and then the third is just the dimension. So this is what we would call, what most people would say, oh, this is when you're conscious, meaning you're in your ego. Because it's kind of weird, because they're like, well, you got to wake up to consciousness. Now consciousness is expanded awareness. Consciousness is what we call the 7 ± 2. We have thousands of bits of information thrown at us all the time, like the temperature change down to your ankles versus the temperature change up by your head, the slight wind. Like, I'm in a room and I don't feel any wind, but my body's picking up the slightest wind, the slightest temperature changes, the slightest noise, things that I'm not conscious of, let's say. So one of the things our brains do is generalize 7 ± 2. So that means 7 - 2 bits of information would be 5, or 7 + 2 would be 9, okay? So the average person can be aware of 5 to 9 bits of information consciously at any given moment. Now, the reason why it's important to come into the third dimension is it grounds you. Now, here's the deal. A lot of people think, oh, I'm just supposed to be spiritual and not connected to my body. No. Connecting to your body is how you connect to the higher levels. When you disconnect from your body and or the earth and or third dimension, you go back down to the second dimension. You don't go up. Now, when I mean up, I don't mean up in your forehead. That's where, this is where words kind of have a hard time explaining. You need to emotionally and energetically, your awareness should drop down inside your body. That's how you connect to the fourth and fifth dimensions. So let's see how they explain the third dimension. So the fourth dimension. So the fourth dimension. So on the third dimension, when people say I'm consciously aware, it just means you're in a very narrow, egotistical or linear logical 7 plus or minus 2 bits of awareness. Okay, an NLP trainer who's really practiced a lot, they can easily do 12 bits of information up to 20 bits of information. So when you're talking to me on the phone, we're having a conversation and you're caught up in what I call the story. That's not where I'm at all. I'm listening to your tone, your tempo, your rhythm. I'm paying attention to the energy shifts, etc. Okay, I'm back. Believe it or not, I was gone for 5.5 hours. So I just did a session with Diane and had a great session with one of our followers, one of their siblings, or not siblings, I guess children you would say, the last night. So things have been zooming pretty good for me here. And the sessions went really, really well. So I'm really kind of on an upbeat mood right now. And the session with Diane went really, really, really well. That's why I'm in such a good mood right now. So, all right, let's get back to this video. All right, so I want to say something really quick. I'm really proud and feeling in a really good mood right now because this was one of those sessions, and the session with the other client last night went super well. They made massive shifts. I'm going to say this one more time. I'll probably say it in the future, but I'm going to say it right now and we'll get to the video. You can change. And you can heal. I can heal you and I can help you make shifts inside. Alright, let's get back. So, okay, so here's the whole purpose of this video. So, we're talking about different dimensions. In the beginning of the video, we talked about how this guy was saying, like, yeah, a lot of people that are sensitive or empaths, they go up into their head and they come out of their lower chakras. Now, what this does is it causes you to be easily energetically pushed around, emotionally pushed around, etc., etc. So we need to get you back down inside. So what a lot of sensitive people do is they got hurt, you know, maybe they got scared a lot as a kid or abused, narcissist abuse, or, you know, whatever. And so you think, okay, I'm going to go up and I'm going to go in my third eye and I'm going to look all the way, but your third eye isn't actually open. It's actually narrow and closed, and you're sending your energy out. And on top of that, your whole body, your chest area, your belly area, your energy's not down inside there where it's supposed to be. So now people can push their energy into your space, into your body, into the space around you, and now they can push you around emotionally. So when you drop your energy back down, now you're solid and they can't come inside. They kind of don't. It's like, okay, I got this tall glass candle. It's like they're going to ping, 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 ping on the outside and they can't get in. Thus, they can't invade you. So the reason why most people that do go outside and they become what we call hypervigilant, they pay attention to the people around and they notice what moods they're in. So they figure if I can make that person be happier, more relaxed or calm, then I can be relaxed or calm. That's actually not a good strategy. Number one, it's exhausting. Number two, you're putting your energy out there. It's not inside where it should be. See, when it's inside, you're more relaxed, you're calm. You don't burn up as much energy. When you put your energy outside, you burn up a lot of energy and you get tired faster. So one of the biggest mistakes sensitive people make, I don't want to use the word empaths because it depends on if they're a very grounded empath and very in tune. If they are, then they don't have this problem. So people that are sensitive that go external, you're also looking for other people's opinions of you. And therefore you're going to ping pong emotionally forever. But when you bring your energy or awareness back inside your body, now you're listening to yourself. Literally. So if you're one of those people who wonder, like, how do these other people, like, they're self-thinkers, like they don't have any problem with it, like they're not worried about what other people think. See, it's one thing to say, oh, I don't care, and yet you do. You're just closing up, which makes you even more external. Versus when you open up and you drop your awareness and energy back inside and you're literally tuning into your emotions and feelings, like, well, how do I feel about this? Because when you listen to yourself, you're feeling your feelings. That's what that means. So a lot of people are like, well, how do I listen to myself? Well, you bring your awareness back down inside. I'm going to give you a couple exercises to give you a stronger idea of what that means. Alright, so first what I want to say is, you need to reconnect with your own energy inside. This is how you access your own power, by dropping your awareness down inside. Like, okay, here's how easy it is. Because when you do this, you don't want to try, because that's like focusing, which pushes out. You want to let go and allow. You want to open up and you want to notice. So write those words down, especially the word allow and notice, because those are really the two words. Letting go and opening up are another series of words, but allowing and noticing are really important. Now, before I said this, you didn't notice the back of your left elbow. That's it. Almost zero effort. You're aware of it. You notice it. Now, here's all I want you to do. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in your nose. Hold it for a second. And then blow it out. Alright, take in one more deep breath. Ready? Breathe in your nose. Breathe in. Hold it for a second or two. And blow it out. Now, one internal awareness technique is while you breathe, put your awareness inside your chest and your lung area and notice the breath coming in your nose, going down the back of your throat, down into your lungs. So let's do one more. So simply put the awareness on your breath, breathing in and breathing out, and allow the awareness to be inside your body. Okay? Ready? Breathe in. Hold it. And breathe out. So if you do that basic technique and then hold the breath a little bit longer, 5 seconds, 7, 10 seconds, 15, etc., you will feel really good. Okay, so the main thing though is allow yourself to notice the breath going in, and then allow your awareness to drop down inside your lungs and just notice whatever you notice. Just allow your awareness to be inside. If you do this for say 15 or 20 breaths, deep breaths, where you hold the breath a little bit longer each time, you will feel so much better and your awareness is inside. This is one of the techniques, if you do long enough and well enough, you'll slowly open up to not only your right brain, but you're actually opening up to your physical body, your muscles, your lungs, and your flesh. And this helps get rid of anxiety. This helps get rid of stress. And it opens you up to a much larger part of your brain so you can problem solve a lot better. It gets rid of anxiety. It gets rid of panic attacks, stress, frustration. I mean, think of any negative, stressful state. Do this long enough and you'll start to feel better. It also tunes you into your 5 senses, so you're going to be more aware of people and what they say, the way they say it, and how they say it. You're going to get a greater sense and a deeper sense of what they actually mean. This also opens you up to a higher intelligence, including your creativity. Now, people that are more solid, more grounded, they're more confident, they're more comfortable with just thinking what they think. They're internal beings. They bring their awareness inside and they go, okay, so how do I feel about this? What do I think about this? Okay. Now, by doing it, you just bring your awareness inside your belly, inside your heart and chest area, and you just sense, like, do I have a good feeling about this? Do I have a bad feeling about this? This is all people that seem to be self-led, confident people that are independent and they think for themselves. This is all they're doing. So now let's say you do this breathing technique for about 7 to 12 minutes, okay? You, number one, will feel a lot better just by holding your breath for 7 to 8 plus seconds, 15 seconds, and you do it for 15, 20, 25 reps. You will feel physically better. It'll oxygenate your bloodstream and boom, it turns on your brain. And now you have clarity. Now, one of my secrets, something that I developed on my own because I got really frustrated because I didn't know how to meditate. Like, no one would teach me how, and after a year I was like, someone goes, just do it. So I meditated with no luck at all for months and months, and then one day I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do this deep breathing technique over and over and over till I feel good. Because I knew when I learned how to do it, they made us do it about 3 times during the day, each training or more. And you started to feel a lot better. So I thought, well, at least I could do that. And then what I did was I began to meditate after I did that deep breathing technique where I was holding my breath for like 20 seconds and man, expanded my lungs and I felt so good. I thought, you know what, I'm going to meditate now. And I didn't realize it, but oxygenating your bloodstream before you meditate will take you into a very deep meditational state. Now there's one more key. And I already kind of taught it to you. Is putting your awareness on the breath going in and out. So the real key is learning how to bring your awareness inside and then expand it. Not by pushing, not by pulling, but completely letting go. So while you're doing that deep breathing technique or after, all you have to do is allow your awareness to drop down, say to the middle of your belly. And imagine it being like a ball about the size of a tennis ball. And then here's the key word. Just notice the space. You're not looking for anything. You're not trying to find anything. See, the male brain's going, what am I looking for? You're not looking for anything. You're just noticing whatever you notice. You might be visual enough to where you can imagine a white golf ball or a white tennis ball or a green tennis ball. Or maybe you can't notice anything at all. Some people aren't that visual. Or maybe you can just notice a feeling that's that size. Or maybe you won't notice that. In fact, all you have to do is just notice that space that size. And then simply just sit there for a few minutes and just have an awareness of that space inside your belly. Now you can do this during the breathing technique, or you can do it after while you're just sitting there for the next 15, 20, 30 minutes. And then after a few minutes, you imagine that ball expanding to the size of a softball. And then just notice that space. Just notice it. And if you notice nothing at all, that's what you notice. That's perfect. And then notice it to say the size of size of a volleyball. And then a basketball. Let it sit there for about 3 to 4 minutes with the volleyball and then shift to the basketball. And then just shift that and notice that space from your front to your back to your chest, all the way down into your gut, all the way into your hips. And just have an awareness of this space. And when you meditate, do this internal meditation. This is what Jesus meant when he said, look within. You want to get so comfortable doing this that while you're having a conversation with someone in public, your awareness is inside your entire gut, belly, and chest area. So instead of your awareness going out of your forehead, their third eye, onto that person, which is rude, bring it back inside and drop it down inside and just have an awareness of that space while you're listening. Because what it does, it expands and opens up your energy, and number one, it allows that person to feel comfortable with you because you're not pushing your energy onto them. Your energy is inside you. The second thing it does, it makes you very grounded, and now people can't go inside your energy field. So the final thing it does is it allows you to actually understand and receive the person a lot better. Now you're understanding what they're saying to you. This can absolutely deepen your understanding and communication of other people. It's something you have to do for a while. It's not like, well, I did it twice, Mike, and it didn't work. Well, you got to practice it a bit more than that. Now, there's a phrase that I use with my clients is, especially with men, you have to learn how to listen to understand. What I just taught you, having this awareness inside your belly, your chest, the size of a basketball, all the way to your front, all the way to the back, the left, the right, and just notice what you're feeling. This is listening to understand. If you do this one technique well enough alone, that's all you're going to need. Now, there's obviously a lot more advanced techniques, but this is the essential core piece of this is what it means to receive someone, to understand someone. It's like you completely silence your mind, you silence your heart, and how do you do that is by being more internal, because it takes you out of your thinking brain. Thinking blocks your reception or receiving of someone's words or communication. Now, here's the other thing. When you listen to someone, what you're really doing is you're listening to your feelings. Like, well, what is my body? It tightened up when they said that. Why? And all of a sudden, you'll know why. You'll start noticing, man, I got a sharp pain when they said that. Like, what's that about? But if you're not internal, paying attention to your emotions and feelings, you're missing 80% of the communication or more. Your ears are very, very tiny. You're the little hole that you receive. You want to listen to your body because your body receives 97% of all communication. Or it's 93%. Words are only 6 to 7% of communication. You want to receive all of the communication. So this is something you want to begin practicing when you're talking to people, when you're meditating, when you're doing deep breathing techniques. Now, here are some more places that you can begin to develop this. Number 1. Stretching or yoga. When you're doing stretching or yoga, your awareness is supposed to go into the muscle or muscles that you're stretching or into your deep breathing, okay? So when you're doing yoga, if your awareness is inside for 40 minutes to an hour, you're going to be a very internal, grounded person. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. All right, when you're getting deep tissue massage, you should be breathing deep when they're massaging you and then breathing out. Bring that awareness inside. And again, don't pull it, don't push it. Just allow it to fall down inside your body into the muscle that they're working on, okay? Pretty much meditation, yoga, deep breathing techniques, communicating with people, and even when you're working on the computer, anything you do, bring that awareness back inside. Now write this down. Energy flows where attention goes. Wherever you bring your attention, like the back of your left elbow, inside your gut, is where the energy goes. So when you bring your awareness inside, your energy, see, most people's energy is up above their head and out like an upside down triangle. When you drop your awareness all the way down inside you, the energy follows wherever your awareness goes, and it goes inside. So guys, have you ever heard women talk about how some men just seem to have presence? This is what they mean. You're internal, which brings you into the present moment. This is presence. So when a woman says, yeah, there's something about the guy, he just seems solid, this is what makes you energetically solid. And yes, this is what I teach my clients in the dating relationship coaching. When you become internal, women naturally, what's the word I'm looking for? They're drawn to you, but that's not really the word, because you're not doing a push or pull. You're not pulling them at all. They become naturally curious. They do become naturally drawn to you, and they become much more aware of you. And yes, this is very, very much more naturally attractive to a woman. And here's the thing, it's the complete opposite of ego or egotistical. That's all forehead lockdown when you close up your chakras, okay? This is letting go of the ego. In fact, that's the biggest secret of all of it, is learning how to do enough of these internal awareness techniques to where you completely let go of ego, even if it's only for that moment. And regardless of whether you're male or female, this will make you a much more powerful and much more comfortable person to be around. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, if you learned something, please click the subscribe button, click the like button, go ahead and make a comment, and if you want, you can go ahead and make a donation. There's a PayPal link right there in the description box. Alright, God bless you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.